Hi, welcome back. So we started seeing Ansible automation training. As part of today's class, we are going to discuss about how to set up Ansible lab in your laptop, right? So as I said in the prerequisites earlier, either you can go with Google Cloud or Azure Cloud or AWS Cloud, or if you have your laptop good configuration, then you can create 3 VMs in your laptop itself. How to implement this Ansible lab? As I stated a couple of times, we have our GitHub ID Cloud and Loud. For this Ansible training, I have created the repository called Ansible underscore automation. For today class, you can stick with class 4 folder. There is a file called lab-setup.txt file. So you can apply this file step by step. I'm going to do exactly same as per this notepad, right? As I stated, we need one Ansible server, which is a control node, and we need minimum 2 manage node 1 and node 2, right? This is server, this is client 1, this is client 2, right? So since I have Google Cloud, I'm going here, I'm going to create an instance. Let me create one instance and show you. We'll wait for a few seconds. Either you can create one CPU, 1 GB RAM, or minimum we need one CPU, 512 MB RAM. So I'm going to name it as, say, server. Come down. So 2 CPU, 4 GB RAM. I don't want to go for this. Say previous version. We can go with E2. The previous version is N1, and you can go with custom. All I need is one CPU, 1 GB RAM. Right? Come down. I need CentOS 7. So select CentOS 7 and come down, allow, and allow full access, say create. So server we have created. Now we are going to create node 1. Create instance. Wait for a few seconds. So if you have your local laptop and VMware workstation or VirtualBox, all we need is we need 3 working machines. So I can just name it as node 1. Come down. We can go with the less configuration because we are not going to give any more load. We are just going to learn. So one CPU, 1 GB RAM is more than enough. So I'm going to set up CentOS 7. Come down. So you can select. Now node 1 we started creating, and we also need to create one more machine, which is node 2. Wait for a few seconds. So I'm going to name it as, say, node 2 and the previous version configuration, so that one CPU go with custom and say one CPU, 1 GB RAM. Come down, go with CentOS 7 and say select. Come down, allow. So basically we have created server, Ansible server, which is a control node, and Ansible clients, which is a manage node. So if you look at, this is going to be Ansible server, this is going to be Ansible client 1, this is going to be Ansible client 2. So let's wait for a few seconds. It got initialized. So let's open server first, and then node 1, and then we'll refresh it so that the node 2 also will be enabled shortly. Yes, it's enabled. So click SSH. So now we have opened SSH for server and node 1 and node 2. Let's go to server. It's getting connected. While it's getting connected, let's go back to the step. See here what I have listed down step by step. First is prerequisites, and then installation, some packages, and then this step, if you are going with cloud, you no need. If you are setting up in your local laptop using VMware Workstation or VirtualBox, then you need to go to each machine etc host file and set up properly with this kind of a domain name. But if you are creating in cloud, then no need, right? And then SSH connection has to be enabled if you are going to create your learning lab in cloud machines. Let's go and check. Yes. So now I'm going to switch over as a root. Here also we are going to switch over as a root sudo su. Here also we are going to switch over as a root. There is a typo mistake. Sudo su, right? So now what we are going to do is I'm going to follow exactly what I mentioned here, right? So that it will be easy for you to follow after this class along with this instructions. So I'm going to ensure the EPL repository. Most of the cloud vendors now they are shipping with by default EPL repository, but let's check. So EPL repository, it will you will get into message where already installed. See, already installed and latest version, the same message. So that means the machine image already included this repository. Now come down. I'm going to stop because we are just learning, right? So in production, you go with the proper one. Okay. So here I'm going to disable it. So here I'm going to disable it. Here I'm going to disable it, right? And next step is I'm going to install some packages. Vim editor package. Of course, it will be there, but if it is not there, it's worth to install, because Ansible you are going to type a lot. Each and every playbook you are going to type it. So as I said, if you are setting up these 3 machines, 3 VM in your local laptop, right, then ensure from this machine, right, if you ping this machine, it should ping. If you ping this machine, it should ping. From this machine, even internet also should be pinged. The same rule has to be applicable in from this machine. You need to reach this machine, and also from this machine, internet also should be reachable. From this machine, you need to reach this machine. You need to reach this machine, as well as from this machine, you need to reach internet. This is the basic setup with the proper domain name, right? So let's clear it out. Right now in cloud, you no need. Why? Because from cloud, automatically the DNS will be predefined, right? So you no need to set up etc host. If you want, you can set the alias, but it's not no need. And mainly you need to enable the SSH connections. So in production, there will be a key, but we are going with, since we are starting as a fresher. So I'm going to open the file, come down. There is a password underscore authentication should be yes. By default, it will be no. So I'm just changing it. Password authentication, yes, and save it. And go to another one, Vim, the file name. Come down. So you need to go the same password underscore authentication should be commented out, and you need to uncomment it. So basically the yes option should be activated. That is why we are doing it. So, and node 2 client also, that is a managed node also, you need to do the same. Password authentication should be yes. Password authentication should be yes. So we are going to remove the uncomment. So now we have changed all the settings. Now you need to bounce it. So you restart the SSHD daemon using systemctl or service command. Better you go with systemctl. We can start use all latest commands. We will not go with the backward compatibility, right? Come down. So I'm going to create a user, right? So I clearly mentioned you need to do this step in all machines. You need to do this step all machines. So let's stick to that instruction, right? So no confusion. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put it, enter, the same way, enter, the same way, enter. So all three machines got the Ansible user ID. Now we need to set the password. As I stated a couple of times in my previous classes, we are not trying to prove anything. So please don't set any complex password. So I'm going to set CNL12345, which is very simple. CNL12345, which is very simple. But production, definitely you need to follow the normal guidelines as per policy. So I'm going to set it up CNL12345, CNL12345, right? And I'm going for node 2, CNL12345, CNL12345, right? So go here, come down. So we need to run the sudo command. Why? Because while executing any playbook, right, in backend, right, there is no one to type any passwords, right? You are authorizing who is going to be the ownership of Ansible. So you are declaring the user ID with the necessary privileges. So here, if you go, right, so you don't get confused, or don't even if you forget, just follow the above line. Instead of root, we are going to say Ansible as a user and all equal to all, exactly the above line. But here we should not get the password to be typed, right? So it's we are discussing about automation. So you need to copy this and add the line in all the machines, right? Go here, node 1, vi sudo. If you have a functional user ID in the production, just stick to the functional user ID. So go here, say insert, so paste and save it. And the same way, node 2, vi sudo command, go here, the same place, and paste it, right? So now everything is fine. Now go back to the step. Now log in as an Ansible into Ansible server, in Ansible server. So I'm copying this. I am in Ansible server, right? So paste this. So now I am a Ansible user, right? Come down, create SSH keys using this command, SSH keygen. Enter, 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 enter. So the SSH keys got created in this .ssh folder, right? Come down, copy SSH keys. So using this command, right? Using this command from this machine, remember we are already logged in as a Ansible. We are already logged in as a Ansible user in Ansible server, right? From here, if you type this command SSH copy ID, which means what is your current user ID? Ansible. So right, so go here. So automatically we are not telling any user, it will take the current user what you logged in, right? Enter it. So first time, so yes, say CNL12345, that is a password we set, right? And the same way, so say node 2, yes, CNL12345. So now I want to ensure whether it is working or not. So what you need to do is SSH node 1. It should not ask password. Yes, I am in node 1, right? See, so exit. Again, from Ansible server, you try to log in node 2, right? There is no password. So we are good to go. Now come back, test the SSH keys. So this is what we did. It was not asked any password, which means whatever we configured so far, it's good, right? Now install Ansible in Ansible server, not managed node, not clients, right? So copy this, yum install Ansible in only Ansible server. So when you say enter, remember you are not in root. So you need to add sudo, right? Sudo, copy paste, enter. So there is no password asked. Why? Because it is authorized via sudo already. So there is a small correction, so which we will update it now. So you need to add the command in front. There is a sudo. Come down. So come down. There is a sudo command. You need to add it. Sudo and say commit changes. So everything is fine. The Ansible is installed. So while installing the Ansible, if you look at right, so you need to have some clarity. What are these packages, which we will see during the Ansible performance tuning, right? So basically, these are the this is the Jinja 2 template using for most of your Jinja 2 templates, and Paramiko. If you are client machines, right? Ansible server and Ansible client machines or lower versions operating system, right? So the Paramiko will ensure for those SSH connection also. And there are a couple of things you need to understand in this, right? Which we will discuss in detail. And there could be some certificate error. Sometimes when you say after installation, Ansible -- version will not give you any success output. In that case, please, you need to do yum update this package. Automatically the issue will be resolved, right? Sometimes you are using the old image, which will create such issues, right? And http lib, this package will help you to monitor the URLs. Of course, the Ansible package, come down. So we have completed till the Ansible installation, right? So I have mentioned here also Paramiko package, right? And even Paramiko transport, you can get it, the support for lower version, right? Come down. The HTTP lib2, you can easily monitor the URLs. We will see it in very detail during the Ansible playbook for specific modules, right? So mostly you need to run this command to make sure everything is fine at the Ansible configuration end. Yes, say Ansible version is 2.923 and global file is etc ansible ansible.cfg, right? So what we will do is, right, we will go with next step, create your environment directories. So you can create ansible.cfg, but before going to do that, I just want to show you one more thing. Where are you? I am in my home directory, mkdir dev, right? Mkdir sit, right? Mkdir prod, right? So I am going dev directory just to create some empty configuration file, right? Ansible -- version, run this command. Please note this point. Now, whatever the Ansible command, it is automatically started referring the current directory configuration file, not the global file, right? This is one of the major point you need to understand. So say, for example, you are going to some project. In that project, there could be 5 to 10 environments. So don't think that each environment requires individual Ansible servers. There is no point, right? So you keep one single Ansible server. Each environment you can segregate as a directories, right? So say, for example, I am in which directory? I am in dev directory. In this directory, if you run, it is referring the dev directory current, basically the current directory where you are. In that directory, the configuration file is there. It will not go back to global file. If it is not there, then it will refer the Ansible global file, right? So we will go back to another sorry, sit. So now I am into sit. Here also you do touch ansible.cfg. configuration file. You run the same command. See here, you can clearly see the difference. See here, I am in dev, right? So it is pointing to the current directory, current ansible.cfg file. Here I am in SIT directory. There also one more ansible.cfg. So now you need to understand the clear-cut difference, right? Suppose if you have 5 environments, right? Each environment specific playbooks or configuration, everything you can segregate as a directory structures. This is very, very important, right? So even if you want to have a clear-cut functionality, there is a command sudo yum install tree, right? This command is very, very useful. So you can go with, say, tree. Actually, I'm in SIT directory. So come out of SIT directory, then you will understand the clear cut. See here, if you go to dev directory and if you refer this, then all configuration inside that playbooks will refer only this configuration file, not this configuration file. But if you are in SIT directory, there are 4 playbooks. So if you execute, these playbooks will refer only this configuration file. This is how you need to define it, right? Let's go inside. So now, as per the step, you create a ansible.cfg file and there is a default section, right? Go here. Now we will go back to dev, right? And say vam ansible.cfg. Inside that, you need to say defaults, right? Inventory equal to host, right? Come down and then remote underscore user ansible timeout 3000, right? So even remote underscore user equal to ansible, because we are going to manage everything through ansible user. The timeout you no need to put it now. I will explain it later. Come down. So you can save this. So I'm going to save this. And now what is the ansible.cfg is pointing out, right? Defaults. Now what is the inventory file name? Host file name. So the file name I need to create host and say development or backup. So I can go with production as a group. In this group I can place node 1, right? Backup as a group, right? In this I am placing node 2. You can go back to the steps. So here production node 1, backup node 2. This is the group name. You can give any name, but it should be some meaningful, right? Go here and save it. Now you want to verify Ansible all -- list, right? So it will show you how many hosts are you have configured in your inventory file. So Ansible command is going to refer ansible.cfg. In this file, you define what is my inventory. So based on this, it will again redirect and go to host file and fetch all the servers and listing it down here. Correct? Let's go inside. I'm going to do some trick. Say vam host. I'm going to put before group, right? I'm going to add the same machine name, node 2, even again node 1, right? I'm going to save it. So theoretically, node 1 is say 1 time, node 1 is 1 time, and second time and third time. So if I say Ansible all -- list, it should show 3 times, right? Let's see the magic. I'm going to run the same command. See, automatically it removes the duplicate always and it's showing. This also one of the things you need to note down, right? Come down. I'm going to test See, from here, normally I am able to ping, but we are not interested in this ping. We are interested via Ansible ping. So how to do that? Ansible, right? All -m ping. -m means module. We will explain what is a module. Right now you use this command. Ansible all -m. M means module, and then you just ping it. So if you receive the node 1 ping pong success, node 2 ping pong success, that means I am Ansible. I am Ansible, right? From my Ansible, using Ansible module, I am able to reach my manage node, which is the Ansible client 1, Ansible client 2. This command green ping pong output proves this is fine, right? So let's go to the steps, come down, and also we need to do one more last step. You need to create a vimrc file, right? Because while creating a playbook, you need to type. While typing, maybe it's a human error, right? Instead of one space, people will give two spaces. Instead of one tab, say for example, I am going to create VIM, say test.txt, right? Enter, insert mode. One, now there is a two space, right? And also instead of one tab, right, I'm giving two tabs, right? These are all errors, common errors, right? So you can avoid such situation. So to avoid, by default, Ansible can ignore it, right? So how to achieve this? So you can go here. What is my home directory? Home Ansible. In this, you can create .vimrc. In the home directory, you need to create a .vimrc. That is why I put tilt. Tilt means home directory, right? vimrc. There is a typo, so I can correct it later. So vimrc, this is correct, right? Probably we can remove the duplicate one, which is it is confusing. So come down. So there is a small error, so which I am going to remove it so that it will be easy. So home Ansible, the vimrc file I'm creating, and you copy these 3 lines, and later there is a one more a major step for all Terraform, everything, how to configure Vim. We'll see it in a later point. But as of now, to start as a fresher, I don't know anything. I know a little bit Linux. So from that point of view, we are going to use these 3 lines. So instead of 2 also tolerate, and without a knowledge, if I do a tab mismatch, you can ignore it. So I'm going to save it. Instead of log off and log on, you can say log off and again you can log in. Instead of that, you can source it, or you can log off and log in as an Ansible. It's up to you, but I'm going to run this. So if you are completed till this, then you are good to proceed with all Ansible labs, right? So all you need to do is you need to just follow the steps, right? And make sure you are able to do a Ansible ping pong. And also you can configure the Vim editor, right? Stay tuned. We will come up with hands-on sessions hereafter. Thanks for everyone.